This week on Previews World Weekly, Ninja Turtles meets Batman. Again, we're going to take you inside Toy Fair New York, and Conan joins the Avengers. Check it out. It's Previews World Weekly, and it's happening right now. What's up, Previews World? It's 4 p.m. on the East Coast, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I'm Thea, and we're here every week to remind you guys to stop at a comic shop to get involved in the world of comics. So we're going to be making up for last week's kind of slow-going, small amount of stuff to talk about by opening up with a whole bunch of new cool things that have happened.
A whole bunch of new cool things. I mean, first of all, I have to point out, we're going to have the Toy Fair New York tour. Natasha's going to do that. She normally does our weekly toy video. She's going to take us through Toy Fair, which just happened and actually just ended on Monday, I think, or Tuesday. So, yeah, super up to the minute. But on top of that, it's like, there's been a ton of new stuff. And Umbrella Academy just dropped on Netflix.
Yes, it did.
I watched some of it this morning, but you've watched 8 episodes?
Yep, I'm up to like 2/3 of the way through episode 8, but
so you like it?
I do like it.
Yeah.
I haven't turned it off yet, so yes.
Okay, well, I mean that's
I
that's
absolutely
valid.
do. Yeah, it's a really cool story. I haven't read any of the comic at all, so I don't really know any of the story aside from what they're doing.
Right, what they're presenting.
On Netflix right now, but it's definitely cool. It's right up my alley in terms of subject matter and post-apocalyptic.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, it actually does have some of that. It's so funny.
Supernatural, post-apocalyptic.
Right. Thea approved. That's right. Yeah. No, I only got to watch a little bit of this morning, but so far, it's pretty cool. It's like it's the right dark tone.
Yes.
I got to see some fun bits with them trying to stop a bank robbery and how each of their little powers work. And
I really enjoy the going back and forth and learning the history of these characters. And they're solid characters. I feel like they're really well developed.
Yeah. And I we mentioned this before, very Wes Anderson-y.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm okay with it though. I was a little on the fence at first, but
it works really well.
It works well, so I'm down for it.
For sure.
I also got to see. I got to always correct myself. Not Battle Angel Alita, but Alita Battle Angel.
Right. For some reason they did
that. For some reason, right. And it was fun. It was it was well crafted. It was energetic, and I'm
glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I've noticed that a lot of people are there's clearly a disconnect between what critics are saying about it and what fans are saying about it or viewers are saying about it.
Interesting.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I know, shocker, right? But people in general are having really positive responses to it, which is nice. And getting to watch it you with Umbrella Academy, this is really my first encounter with this particular world, this character. And at the same time, you can see the anime and manga influence.
Good.
It's pretty much all over it.
I like that.
And they're really owning it, which is nice too. So that's cool.
It's a refreshing change.
I actually kind of want to watch it again, to be honest, because there's a lot of details to it that I missed. And it makes me want to read the Kodansha series, that reprints the original book. So there you go, shameless plug. Also, I had to point out, people are upset about the Marvel cancellations.
Yeah. Fancy that.
Yeah. But I think it's funny because we were just talking about Umbrella Academy, which is on Netflix. Sharkey the Bounty Hunter is coming out this week, which is also part of a Netflix deal. So I wonder why Netflix isn't interested in the Marvel stuff, right? You know what I mean? It's just sort of they have secured Dark Horse and Millar World, and they're trying to run with it. Yeah, so
they're fine.
And I'm sure they get a bigger piece of the pie. So
Exactly.
Yeah. I did think, however, some of the announcements. Did you see the Hulu announcements that they made recently?
No.
They're going to do Howard the Duck. But it's going to be written by Kevin Smith and David Willis. David Willis did Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
That's going to be a heck of a show.
I think people kind of glossed over that, but I'm like,
come on!
That's a pretty deadly combination.
Yes,
Kevin Smith, Dave Willis on Howard the Duck. That's kind of perfect.
That's going to be pretty great.
Yeah, and there's some other ones. There's Chelsea Handler's doing something with Dazzler and Tigra. Some other interesting stuff, but that one in particular really caught my attention. It was
okay.
I'd borrow someone's Hulu subscription to watch that. So there you go. It is New Comic Book Day. We've got tons of cool stuff coming out this week. As always, Anna Mia is here. She's going to give us a rundown of some of the comics that are available on your comic book store shelves today.
Hey Previews World! Every week we give you the rundown on some of the books hitting the shelves for the first time. Here's what's at comic shops this week. Is that it? No way. Your comic shop has something for every type of customer. So stop at a comic shop today, and I'll see you back here next week.
Thanks, Mia, and of course that's only a little bit of what we've got coming out. For the full list of titles available, go over to PREVIEWSworld.com/new releases to see what we've got. So what are you looking forward to, Trey?
Sharkey the Bounty Hunter.
Sharkey the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, so Miller World is doing, we just mentioned her Netflix deal. It's coming to Netflix. It looks like it's going to be a feature-length show, or feature-length movie. But it starts here. And it starts with Sharkey the Bounty Hunter. It's being released by Image Comics. It's out this week. It's basically, I mean, it wears its name right on the cover.
Yeah.
It's about a bounty hunter named Sharkey. He has a rocket-powered ice cream truck. He travels through space looking for bounties, trying to collect heads.
I love it.
Cut and dry. It's Simone Bianchi. And I don't know if you've ever seen his work. It's very heavy metal-like. I actually think he did some heavy metal, so it actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, great European artist. And it's Mark Miller, so it's going to be kind of crazy. Check it out.
Very good, very
good. What
are
you looking forward to?
Catwoman.
Oh, nice.
So we're up to Catwoman number 8, and this is from Joelle Jones and artist Alita Casagrande. And we got Selena Kyle at it again, having to deal with the Penguin. And I actually didn't really know much about Joelle Jones, so I looked her up. And it's really cool how she's really an artist.
Yes.
But she also does the writing now. And she and Alita Casagrande actually sort of work together on the art on Catwoman a lot. They sort of go back and forth.
That's cool. Okay,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
sort
know
of
that.
share the duties, which was something that I thought was pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she started out as an artist for Dark Horse and is now doing stuff for DC.
No, her stuff's like jaw-dropping. Like
It's
every time I see it, it's like, this
beautiful.
is like amazing artwork. Yeah, and like, DC wisely has done a bunch of collectibles like based off of her art style because you want to see that in the third dimension, right? So yeah, no, her artwork's great.
Super fancy.
Actually, speaking of DC, Naomi number 2 is hitting store shelves today, and it's interesting because I didn't know quite what to think about this book when I read the first issue, before I read the first issue, but it's actually. It's everything that you like about Brian Michael Bendis, and it's like it's coming from this man on the street perspective, or more specifically, girl on the street perspective, and like it's basically Naomi is this teenage girl. Superman like kind of crashes down into her town, looks like Portland for the most part, and everyone sees this like knockdown drag out fight that Superman has in town except for her, and so she's constantly like kind of like coming in on the heels of like this event, and then Superman comes back and he like fixes things, and you're kind of wondering like, why is she not seeing this?
Oh my gosh.
And so like that's kind of the mystery of like the whole story, because it's sort of like, no, something's wrong about this. And yeah, it was just interesting. And also the artist Jamal Campbell, wow. Like, I mean, we were talking about Joelle Jones. He's like in the same class as her. Like he's like just gorgeous artwork, like painstakingly detailed, like just stare at it. Like I found myself just staring at the pages. Like it was just so beautiful. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool book. It's an awesome book.
Cool.
What else are you looking forward to this week?
So coming out is a He-Man and the Masters of the Universe omnibus hardcover. So this is like a huge collector's item. It's collecting a whole ton of stories for He-Man and a lot of really cool side stuff. So like a few cool crossovers and a lot of the like origin stories of the characters.
Oh, nice.
And it just looks really, really, really cool.
Yeah. That's really cool. Actually, I love that cover too.
Bringing back the nostalgia bomb here.
All right, yeah.
We've been doing that a lot lately.
All right, I was going to say, what you use either post-apocalyptic or nostalgia bombs, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Also out this week, HULVERINES, which is basically, I'll just read it off the thing, but it's like the clash you've been waiting for. Actually, I can tell you right now, it's Greg Pak. And he's been doing this thing called Weapon H, which was like a major story arc that they were like kind of like sprinkling into some of the Wolverine books and like some of the Hulk books like a few years ago. Now it's all coming to a head. Weapon H ended up being HULVERINE. And so yeah, Greg Pak and Ario Anandito are doing this one. And yeah, check it out. It looks like it's going to be pretty savage.
Nice. We also have High Level #1 coming out, which is a pretty cool looking book. It's from writer Rob Sheridan, who co-created 9 Inch Nails' Year Zero video game, which is a neat thing.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, artists Barnaby Bagenda and Romulo Fajardo Jr. So, and those, great artists as well. I was looking at some of their stuff outside of comics. Very cool stuff. So this is sort of hundreds of years after the world ended and human society is forced to traverse a new continent of danger and mystery to deliver a child messiah to High Level, a mythical city at the top of the world from which no one has ever returned. So,
yeah, cool.
Again, totally not subject matter that I'm into at all.
Yeah, no, Rob Sheridan. That's really interesting, actually. And it is definitely a Vertigo book.
Yes.
And it's part of their new relaunch of Vertigo title. So this might be the most high profile out of all of them, I think.
Really, really, really solid.
Yeah. I'm really interested in that. And like we mentioned earlier, there's been tons of news hitting us like in the last 7 days. So we're going to focus on some of it. Here's what's been going on in the world of comics and television and film.
Dynamite Entertainment has announced the most unexpected and exciting crossover of the year. Red Sonja and Vampirella meet Betty and Veronica. Dynamite's first ever crossover with Archie Comics could not be any bigger. The flagship women of Dynamite come face to face with Riverdale's leading ladies to solve a string of paranormal unsolved murders. When Draculon and Hyrcania drop off their famous vampire hunter and sword-wielding barbarian into the small sleepy town, something is surely afoot. Amy Chu returns to the fiery-haired she-devil to write an even more of a fish-out-of-water tale than her fan-favorite Worlds Away arc. Joining her on the art side is Maria Lara Sanapo, who just drew the Vampirella Valentine's Day special. Together, these two women will chronicle the incomparable charm of their four leading ladies. Red Sonja and Vampirella Meet Betty and Veronica #1 will be solicited in the March 2019 previews catalog, so keep an eye out and be sure to pre-order it from your local comic shop when the time comes. A whole slew of super cool variant covers are definitely worth collecting if this is your thing in terms of this book. The art on the front of this thing is great.
It's great.
Like the original cover there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Right.
It's so good. You can see the crossover immediately. You've got like super character interaction and they're all the variants look really,
all
really
of them
neat.
look good.
Yeah.
And actually, you can see, I already saw the next month's catalog, so you can get a full rundown of all the variant covers. There's actually a lot more of them than initially released, so check those out. I'm also just a fan of like the oddball Archie crossovers.
Yes, for sure.
Like in the 90s, they did Punisher versus Archie, and I don't think anybody expected it to be good, and it was. And now they have this long history of, like they did, was it Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy meet Betty and Veronica? They did Archie versus Predator, which was really good, like bizarre. It was really bizarre how good it was. And so now this, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some other ones in between. But yeah, just like fun stuff.
They know how to do the crossover.
They know how to do the crossovers.
They've
which
got it.
90% of the time, crossovers aren't good, but Archie's like figured out some sort of formula that works.
That's so good.
It's so great.
Next up, we have two big announcements for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Firstly, Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon, and DC are teaming up for Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, an animated movie based on the 2016 comic book miniseries Batman/Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, published as a collaboration between DC and IDW. The film's voice cast features Troy Baker as both Batman and the Joker, making him the first actor to ever take on both roles in one project, Darren Criss as Raphael, Kyle Mooney as Michelangelo, Baron Vaughn as Donatello, Eric Bauza as Leonardo, and many, many more. This will be arriving on 4K, Blu-ray, and digital later this spring. The second announcement comes when the 80th anniversary of Batman collides with the 35th anniversary of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this May. DC Publishing and IDW Publishing announced plans for Batman/Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, a stunning 6-issue conclusion to the smash hit crossover trilogy. James Tynion IV reunites with artist Freddie E. Williams II and colorist Jeremy Colwell for this final chapter starring Gotham's Dark Knight and New York's Heroes in a Half Shell. In the first two blockbuster volumes, our heroes battled the evil of the Foot Clan in Gotham and then went head-to-head with Bane in New York. But now, in the third and biggest chapter, Krang has gotten his hands on the most dangerous technologies in the DC universe, and no universe is safe from his wrath. The Dark Knight continues to fight like never before with wall-to-wall ninja action in Batman/Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 beginning May 1st. Super cool crossover.
That's very cool. Actually, you're going to notice a pattern, I think, with like some of the news coming out of comics this week. Like, it's like everyone in comics was like, oh, let's just do something awesome. Like, I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. And like, this the TMNT is not new because it's like the third one, but it's still kind of like an awesome thing that people enjoy. So
I love that combination of Batman and the Turtles.
Yeah, it like makes sense oddly.
Yeah,
like
surprisingly.
For no real reason, but like they just kind of fit together.
Works.
So yeah.
Maybe it's the city thing.
You're right. Yeah. There you go.
Next up, DC has declared 2019 the Year of the Villain with a special 25-cent comic available May 1st in preparation for Free Comic Book Day on May 4th. DC's Year of the Villain spotlights several of DC's most infamous supervillains in stories written by celebrated authors Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Brian Michael Bendis. This exclusive 32-page original comic will feature breathtaking art from Eisner Award-winning illustrator Alex Maleev, Jim Chung, and Francis Manapul, with a cover by acclaimed artist Greg Capullo. Look for DC's Year of the Villain in the upcoming DC March previews catalog.
Nice. I just want to point out that the people always complain about how like the free comic book day books aren't like always originals, like at least like the premiere ones.
Right.
But both Marvel and DC are doing original stories this year.
Are.
So like literally like your first taste of some of the stuff coming up is going to be through free comic book day.
That's true. Yeah, they're doing a lot of sort of little preview bits.
Right. Yeah.
For a lot of stories that they're planning on writing more of.
Right.
So definitely cool.
Yeah, you guys should be happy. Go for it.
Yeah. The creative team of writer Scott Snyder and artist Greg Capullo have taken Batman from the Court of Owls through Dark Knight's metal over the last several years and will now wrap up their mythos with a new DC Black Label 3-issue miniseries. DC Comics has revealed the cover to Batman Last Night on Earth #1 on their Twitter account. This comic will be available May 29th. It looks really neat.
Actually, it's cool. Like I know that it kind of spins out of Dark Knight's metal, which it feels like everything does now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big success for him, so I get it.
Indeed.
But yeah, it's cool, and it's part of the Black Label, so who knows? It might be a little edgy boy.
Edgy boy.
Or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think the Black Label necessarily by default means it's going to be mature, but it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Conan the Barbarian will be playing a key role in an upcoming Avengers series this May. Alongside Wolverine, Venom, Punisher, Elektra, and Brother Voodoo, Conan will star in Savage Avengers, according to the exclusive reveal from Entertainment Weekly. The creative team will consist of writer Jerry Dugan and artist Mike Deodato Jr. David Finch provided the art for the cover. Savage Avengers #1 will be available to pre-order at comic shops through the March previews catalog. Another cool crossover.
Yeah, so you remember Old School?
Yes.
Right, where like Will Ferrell's like running down the house, and he runs down the house. He said, "We're going to strike," and he kicks the door, and he's like, that was me after I read that. Like I just like
Good.
Again, like comics are awesome.
Yes.
Comics should do awesome things.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is definitely awesome.
There's no reason not to like this.
Yes.
And I'm not alone, because the reaction to this was like face melting. Like people people just were like going.
Positive nerds?
Positive, yeah, just immediate positive. I'm trying not to curse right now. People were just like having like a very positive reaction to it, and why not? You got the license. Why not just have fun with it? Like, and
For sure.
that lineup's killer too. Like, just absolutely.
Just have
perfect.
fun with it.
And I saw people saying like, "Why is Elektra the only woman on here?" I just want to point out, Elektra's owned just about everybody on that team.
Let's be real.
Except for Conan.
She's worth all of them.
Yeah, right. Like she's taking it to Wolverine and Punisher. Like. It's okay.
It's Elektra, guys.
It's Elektra. She can handle it. That just, bah.
Noises.
All for it, yeah. Good. Exactly, noises.
Just lots of noise.
So, of course, comics aren't the only thing coming out in comic shops this week. We have toys, and they're all hitting your store shelves today. Check it out. Natasha's going to give you a rundown of what's available in the Previews Toy Chest, and later on, she's going to give us a tour of Toy Fair in New York. But first, check it out.
Hey Previews World, Natasha here to give you a look inside the Previews Toy Chest. Let's find out what's at comic shops for the week of February 20th, 2019. Be sure to check with your local comic shop for availability. And to see more, head over to PREVIEWSworld.com/talkingtoys to see our new show, Talking Toys. There you'll feast your eyes on more hot new collectibles.
So I was very amused by like the fact that you were like going through a range of emotions when you were watching the Toy Chest video. A group came up, you're like, oh, and then aliens came up, you're like, oh.
I wasn't expecting those aliens.
A lot of cool stuff this week, right?
Absolutely.
Anything in particular like stick out to you? Or?
I'm really liking that little Spider-Gwen.
Oh yeah, it's a cool one.
She's really
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah. No, this, I mean, Scotty Young. That's all Scotty Young stuff. It's all Gentle Giant stuff, and he kind of makes a lot of things by default cute. Even like Venom, like So
Yeah, this little lollipop.
So there you go. And also it's Johnny's favorite. Got to point that out.
I got mine.
There you go. There you go. So.
Literally in hand.
And it just so happens that we've got one for you too. Look at that, right? I love segues.
That's so good.
Look at
Bam.
that. Yeah.
You get the little Wolverine. And he's so good. He's
So-
so full of character.
Yeah, he is very much full of character.
So if any of you guys out there want to win Wolverine here, we want you to let us know TV, film, comics, what's your favorite Wolverine story? Leave a comment on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching. We'll take entries up until next week's show, and you can win him.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so
Very
go ahead and
cool.
participate.
Absolutely. Of course, we have last week's winner as well.
Yes, we do, yeah.
Right? So last week's winner is Jason Grohoski, who wins the Egon Marshmallow variant figure that we were showing you guys last week, with his response of, "The first record I can find of me discovering Ghostbusters was 1989 when I turned 2. I had a birthday party including a no-ghost cake and all the party hats and decorations. Almost 30 years later, I'm still in love with Ghostbusters." That's pretty cool
I
that you
love
even
that,
have
yeah.
that memory.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Evidence of that memory, because I'm sure you don't actually remember. But like,
Right, yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
2-year-old Ghostbusters party. Solid parenting, guys.
No, I love that. I read that and I was like, he won. So yeah, good for you. Was it Jason?
Yes.
Yeah, good on you, Jason. Congratulations, and that's going to be coming your way. Let's keep the savagery going,
Absolutely.
right? So, Savage Sword of Conan was in comic shops last week. It's available now at your stores, and it just so happens that we have a trailer featuring Jerry Dugan and Ron Garney, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it when we get back. Check it out.
Conan is just one of those characters that is singular of purpose, and he knows where he wants to go in life. He wants that crown on his head, and his adventures getting there are just some of my favorite ones ever.
Just as Conan the Barbarian has walked many paths in his life, from a young boy to when he became king, there have been so many different paths that Marvel has taken in publishing the Conan books. And one of the most beloved, the most remembered, is Savage Sword of Conan. When we were thinking about a writer for this book, we knew we had to find someone who could bring not only the darkness and the violence of Conan, but a lighter tone, because there is a tongue-in-cheek aspect to our favorite barbarian. We knew that Jerry Duggan was the perfect guy for the gig.
I tried to make it my love letter to Robert E. Howard's Conan. We have a friend in need, we have Conan the Barbarian, and a mysterious treasure that was thought lost to time. There's evil wizards, there's undead armies, there's Alex Ross covers.
We were thrilled to find out that Alex was a fan of the original Savage Sword of Conan series and wanted to do something with his artwork that was not only new and jumped off the shelves in the modern day comic shop, but also had a narrative thread to the original covers.
There's something that's so compelling about Robert E. Howard's original Conan stories. To be a part of that now with one of my favorite artists that I've never gotten to work with, Ron Garney, has been a dream come true.
He's a legend in the comic book industry and has left his mark on so many books here at Marvel over the decades. When we were looking for someone we knew had seamless storytelling and could bring the heavy inks and kind of create that mood that was so needed for Savage Sword of Conan, there was no one but Ron Garney who was considered for this book.
I try to have fun on the page so that Ron will have fun drawing it. If you're not a Conan fan, this book will grab you like a 7-foot-tall Sumerian and cart you off to fandom.
And that is Savage Sword from Marvel. Like I said, it's in comic shops now. It's actually the second Marvel book that they're releasing. Of course, the other one was the Jason Aaron one, just called Conan. And it's cool because, well, first of all, we're talking about Savage Avengers, and it just so happens that Jerry Dugan is the same writer.
Yep.
But it's also Ron Garney, who's like a vet. And like, so you kind of know exactly what type of artwork you're going to get from him. He did Captain America. He's done Daredevil. Like, he's just a really solid artist who evolves with the times too, and evolves with the story he's telling.
Good.
So you really can't go wrong with it. And there's a little novella in the back too. So taking it back to Conan's roots, right? A little pulp story. So We mentioned earlier Toy Fair New York, and this is a big event that happens every year down in at the Javits Center, same place as New York Comic Con. Just so happens we sent Natasha Stagmer over, aka Cannon Doll X, who's a host of Talking Toys, and she gave us a tour, and she showed us all just some of the cool stuff she's seen at the show. So check this out.
Hey everyone, Natasha here with Talking Toys. I'm on special assignment in New York at the Toy Fair 2019. I'm super excited. I'm going to take you inside and show you some exclusives that are hitting your friendly local comic shop. Follow me inside. Let's go. These statues are so detailed and so amazing. Like, as a fan, I'm fangirling clearly, but also as someone who makes costumes, I want to buy these for the excuse that it's research, because it is so detailed. This is better than anything you'd find online, pictures, in the movie even, unless you were actually on set. This is so cool. My girl, look, Rogue. Ah, she's so cool. Ah, I love her. Look, I'm gonna play with them. Oh, it's so cute. Look at the little Cyclops. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this cable. Whoa. Yeah, he's scary. Bruce Lee. Holy moly. Wow. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. This looks like it should be a tattoo or something. This is crazy. The force is strong with this collection. Yeah, I said it. Look at the detail in Rey. Look at her clothes. That's you want to touch it and it's going to move. That is so amazing. Oh, wow, these are so cute. Oh, I love it. So you can cover your whole desk with stuff. It's really hard not to just grab everything and play with these toys. I know they're collectibles, but honestly, these are so cool. Here at the quantum mechanics booth, and oh my gosh, the stuff they have, I'm having a hard time focusing because I'm nerding out so hard right now. Get this collectible, make it so. Oh, Batman! Bat Dad! Oh my gosh, how fun is that? You know, I'm a Wonder Woman fan. I got my Wonder Woman nails on. She is just beautiful. I love the idea of this, of having her immortalized, even though she's immortal, but in statue form. And oh my gosh. My favorite horror movie. First thing I ever saw in the theater, though, that was a horror movie, right there, The Exorcist. Yeah. Ah! It delayed. It totally delayed. Now these are the kind of dolls that I wish my grandmother would have collected when I was little. Not as creepy and really cute and legit collectibles to me. Not legit give you nightmare-ables. The sculpting is amazing, but the clothes, that's a lot of detail for really, really small scale. That's just as awesome as the sculpting itself, I think. So what I think is really great about a lot of these companies are making these collectibles in that desktop size is if you have a ton of collectibles, you're gonna run out of space. Now, you can fit all those awesome collectibles you love so much in a smaller area. And they're just as detailed as the larger ones. I think it's awesome. It's a brilliant idea. Way to go. She looks hella amazing. into the sewer. Like, I was like, oh, cool, the boat, whatever.
Which one? The quarter scale, the biggest one? Yes. That one? Oh, yeah. That's
It's really good. They just hone in. I mean, like the Mrs. Nesbitt, like they hone in on all those cool fandoms that like real fans will get it, like the little secrets and things like that. It's like a little Easter egg, but it's not. It's so fantastic. Funko's really done a great job. Look. Split. They could come out with 24 of these. John McClane, top figure. Yeah, if you could come to the Toy Fair Saturday, that'd be great. It's like everything you love. I see Audrey too, Little Shop of Horrors. So fantastic. Time here at Toy Fair New York 2019. I just want to say thank you to the awesome companies that took the time to tell us about their toys and what they have coming out for 2019. If you want to find out more, hit your local comic shops, and to find one near you, head over to comicshoplocator.com, and I will see you next time.
Thanks, Natasha. Looks like you had a great time. And if you guys out there want to see more coverage of the Toy Fair, head on over to PREVIEWSworld.com/toyfair to see what else we've got going on. There's a lot of stuff there.
A lot.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
Like, seriously, it's my favorite show.
Yeah.
Like, and I've only gone once, but like, I almost like encourage people. I'm like, if you can go to Toy Fair, just go to Toy Fair. Like, it's San Diego's probably like second to that one for me.
How funny.
Because it's just. I mean, well, A, you don't have to spend any money, which is nice, because most of that stuff is not available yet. But also B, yeah, it's just like eye candy after eye candy, like
so much stuff that I'm like, I don't need that, but
you're right, you kind of want it, right? And I mean, also you kind of get to just be like mesmerized by like the craftsmanship of a lot of this stuff. Like, I mean,
just art for the sake of art.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you pointed out the just some of the. Was it the Golden Girls?
Yeah,
like,
the Golden Girls
detail,
are great, yeah.
The detail on those like, is insane.
On a lot of those things.
So, yeah, I think it's like great. Yeah, I love it. I just wanted to point out before we close out, because we're done. No more, sorry.
Yeah.
There was a thing called Comics DNA that Archie Comics is. Alex Segura, he started online, and it was basically asking people, very similar to what we did actually the week before, which is like, what was your first comic book? What was the comic book that got you hooked? Right. And on top of that, what are the two that you cherish, right? And, you know, like Twitter has like only 4 available image slots. So, you know, he's trying to utilize that. But it got a really good conversation going.
Cool.
And it was, you know, on the heels of, I keep bringing up Savage Avengers, not just because I'm excited about it, but just in general because, like, you know, we've been in a stretch of kind of negativity when it comes to the comic stuff.
I think so.
And it was really great and to Alex's point in his initial tweet, it was really great to see people just responding positively to wanting to enjoy comics.
Good.
And I think that's the road forward. Like,
yes.
you know, like
yes.
we need to get back to that. Like, we got a little too far in the weeds.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's all meant to be fun. It's all meant to be a good time. And we gotta get back to that for sure.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, and it's still going. So, like, hashtag Comics DNA. It's not even ours. It's just his. But, like, check it out. It's cool. Like, join the conversation. I love that. And I said we were going to throw up a few images of it, but, like, ultimately, like, it's not the best format to try to share like 4 images on a screen of a video. So we went past it. And also we had the Toy Fair thing. But yeah, keep doing it because I loved it, and we'll probably retweet some of that stuff too.
Sure.
So
for sure.
Speaking of, you know, participating and having conversation about comics, we had our comic shop shout out for this week.
Yes, absolutely. Every week we want to know what your favorite local comic shop is, so let us know on any social media where you can find us. Use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. Let us know what your favorite local comic shop is, and we could shout you out on the show.
Cool. And who is our comic shop shout out for this week?
Yeah, so this week we have Double Midnight Comics in New Hampshire, and that was sent in to us by Liz T on Twitter, so we'll leave you with some images of that joint when we're done.
Yeah, that joint, exactly. And I got to point out, man, it looks like they turned Free Comic Book Day into a like honest to God like block party. Yeah, like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point that like pulling images for this, it was like I was only in the Free Comic Book Day section. So yeah, good on you guys. Thank you very much, Double Midnight from New Hampshire. That's it for this week on Previews World Weekly. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Troy Jeffrey Allen.
And I'm Thea, and we'll see you at the spinner rack.